Oh my god, I look like a mess. Anywho, me here, and I'm here with Pips. Hey Pips, who's a good doggy? Who's a good doggy? You can't be a trader and not have a dog called Pips. And the wife and kids are about to go on some sort of train trip, so thought I'd make a little cheesy selfie. I don't do many of these. I do cringe when I see selfie videos, but just a quick update. So every time you open up TradingView and look at the charts, the very first thing you should do is always look at the dollar. The dollar dictates everything. Dollar goes up, everything falls. Dollar goes down, everything rises. So the dollar's been on a meteoric tear at the moment, and I think it is all part of I guess, an orchestrated play because CBDCs are coming out, central bank digital currencies. So I think there's a little bit more upside to the dollar. I know, even though it has had a recent pullback, it's just Koboing. So it's just breached that massive 11-year support level quite explosively, and it's pulled back to then bugger off. So Kobo, kiss off, bugger off. And the reason I think we got a little bit more strength with the dollar before it does fully retrace or reverse slightly is that all the world's major currencies are being trashed. So if you have a look at the dollar against pretty much any currency, they are in the gutter. So euro dollar is below parity right now. Pound dollar, so cable, that has crashed massively. There isn't. Oh, there they go. Bye, kids. This has bought me an extra 15 minutes worth of free time. um, Basically, every currency against the dollar has basically been trashed. So what's happening, and this is an ongoing process, individuals, companies, corporates, countries and banks are doing a continual process of transferring or swapping their currency into the dollar, because the dollar is literally the only thing that's not falling at the moment. Stocks, bonds, cryptos, currencies, commodities, everything is crashing. And so the dollar is now a temporary safe haven. Therefore, there is going to be a little bit more upside to the dollar, in my opinion. There's one more resistance level which we're yet to hit. So my current mental model is that we've got a little bit more upside, which will then cause this next leg down for crypto. I'm still very bearish on crypto. And then we're going to see some sort of pivot. So I reckon this month is going to be another month of rate hikes, all that sort of stuff. And then at some point, politicians do what politicians do, which is try and bail themselves out, because obviously they don't really give a shit about the long term. They only care about their short 4-year term in power or whatever. So they'll then nuke it. And by nuking it, they'll effectively turn on the printing presses again. Because what's happening is that although the Fed is being hawkish, they're very secretly increasing liquidity behind the scenes. So they're like, "Hey, public, yeah, we're very hawkish. We're raising rates, all that sort of stuff." But then on the left hand, they're sort of screwing over by secretly adding liquidity. So they're caught between a rock and a hard place. So to recap, dollar goes up a little bit more. I think stocks will have, and crypto will have, one more big push down. And then, because it will be pretty brutal, they will then quickly pivot, or in fact, they don't even have to pivot that much. You just need 1 month where the Fed goes, "Yeah, we're not raising rates, we're just going to keep things as they are." And the market will react like freaking idiots, like they always do, and go, "Oh wow, no, rates aren't going up." And then the market will rally a bit. So they don't even have to do any crazy QE program or anything like that. They can just literally pause for a month or two, and markets will be risk on a bit. But the other thing which, in terms of the global orchestrated play, I actually think they are purposely trying to get as many people in the dollar as possible. So you trash every other currency, everyone flocks to the dollar. Okay, so that is one of the reasons why there is still upwards buoyancy to the dollar. The Fed then brings out Fed coin, digidollar, whatever you want to call it. Their bullshit CBDC. It won't be. It's a permissioned blockchain basically, and that will then basically force everyone into the US Fed coin, Fed dollar, digidollar, whatever they're going to call it. Which means the Fed then has even more optics in everyone that's in the dollar, because what they'll probably do is go, oh, we're gonna at the same time get rid of, you know, $100 bill notes, $50, whatever, and let's say they halve the US M2 currency supply by getting rid of notes, you know, actual physical dollars, and I know, let's just call that $2 trillion. Sorry, $12 trillion, and then they'll just issue $12 trillion of new Fed coin, and so eventually there will be some sort of trigger. Now the trigger could be a major bank going bust, it could be some sort of black swan which we're not aware of, or even a white swan. So a white swan is something we are aware of, but we've just forgotten. So I don't know, Evergrande pops up its head again and really, you know, goes tits up, something like that, which will trigger an event where they literally issue shitloads of CBDCs, which means the Fed will then go, hey, the $10,000 in your Goldman Sachs bank account is now gone. However, you can download this Federal Reserve wallet and then download or claim your $10,000 worth of Fedcoin. So I actually think commercial banks are going to be, they're going to let die, because we tend to think it's retail against the elite or big boys against retail. It's not that at all. It's simply a case of elephants and rhinos fighting each other, and we retail are the mice and ants on the ground. They don't give a shit about us. They're not even aware of us. And so when people say, oh, it's the banks aren't, they're not friends. Like, individual banks are fighting against each other because they're competitors. Then you have the central and commercial banks. So you have the central banks against the commercial banks, the investment banks. You also have hedge funds. Then you also have rogue billionaires like Soros and whatnot. So it's not one cabal. So yeah, I see at some point over the next, let's say, 3 years, huge commercial banks and investment banks are going to go bust, and the Fed will bail everyone out with Fedcoin. Anyway, enough with the tin pot hat type stuff. This is way too long. Train has returned. I better go. Daddy duties. Have a good weekend. Bye.